Welcome back to the OKC Foodcast, your guide to the food in Oklahoma. And you aren't joined by your regular hosts today. We're doing kind of a special episode with a couple of friends that have joined me while we're practicing social distancing. So we're kind of joined in remote with Logan and Fee, and we'll introduce them in a second. But Ashley isn't here because she has to take care of her business with everything that's happening right now, which is understandable. So if you're at home with your kids, or even if it's just you, and you have nothing to do, her business, Pino's Palette in Bricktown, is offering curbside pickup paint kits, which come with a painting and instructions on how to create that painting, along with all the supplies you need. Go check those out, and it'll give you an activity to do while you're staying at home. Without further ado, let's get into it. Fee is from Take a Bite OK, and Logan is from Edible Excellence. Introduce yourself, guys.
Hi, I'll go first. Thanks for having me on today, Nabil. So I'm Fee Wynn of Take a Bite OK. In a former life, I was a server and bartender for over a decade. Currently, I'm the director of finance at Downtown Oklahoma City Partnership. I've been a lifelong foodie. So I started Take a Bite in 2014 as a supper club for friends to try restaurants we were too intimidated to try alone. That eventually evolved into documenting our supper club food adventures online via Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We really wanted to share all of the delicious options available in our diverse 405 culinary world. Based on my job, everything I do is very downtown focused, but I try to emphasize everything that's happening in Oklahoma City.
Nice. And I follow, obviously, Take a Bite OK, and the pictures you post are stunning. So
thank you. They're all on my Samsung Android, so picture quality is, if not better than iPhones.
Hashtag Android, yes.
Yeah.
All right, Logan. Logan, you've been on the podcast before, but just in case someone's listening for the first time.
My name's Logan Holden with Edible Excellence. By day, I'm a digital marketing specialist at a company called Oklahoma Web Media out in Del City. Also a lifelong foodie, but unlike Fee, I've never had much of an apprehension about going and trying places by myself. It's only been recently that I've kind of developed more of a group there. But back in 2016, I realized how many restaurants I hadn't tried, and I set out to try a different one every week. And by the end of the year, I'd hit almost 70. And 2018, a buddy of mine hears about how many restaurants I keep going to, all these cool places. He said, well, do you know anything about Instagram? I said, well, not really. I said, well, you should really try it. You might like it and you might be good at it. And the jury's still out on either of those, but people seem to pay attention. So, thank you to all those people. But it's definitely been an eye-opener. It's just the expansiveness and the unique sort of diversity in the food scene in Oklahoma City that a lot of people from other states, I mean, you tell them that we have like Ethiopian restaurants and all that other stuff, and they just kind of scratch their heads and they say, in Oklahoma? But yeah, I know. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, since then I've sort of taken to hosting events, planning events, and just really engaging with the Oklahoma City hospitality industry and the social media influencers and the food writers and the bloggers who really do a lot to help promote it.
Nice. And goes without saying, I mean, I would say you're pretty good at Instagram. I don't know if you like it or not, but I'd say you're doing a good job.
I think you're killing it, Logan. Your photos are some of the best that I've seen. And I think my standards are pretty high regarding phone food pictures.
All right, fine. Fee, don't comment on ours. It's okay.
Is that a humble diss? Is that what that is?
That was reassurance for you.
So like I mentioned before, this is kind of a special episode because we're not in the studio. We are online. So forgive any talking over that we do. It might happen because it's a little tougher when you're not face to face. But first things first, we had to postpone our anniversary party, which is okay. But when everything figures itself out with the pandemic that we're facing right now, we will revisit that and we'll definitely celebrate when we can all be together again. But we can't break all traditions. So let's talk about the favorite thing you ate this week. Fee, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I made it a personal goal to support at least one local business daily. So at least one. Usually try to hit at least two. But this morning I woke up extra early and headed down to Deep Deuce to Bell's Kitchen. There's two locations, one on North May and one in the Deep Deuce in the OKC. And every single day they make a fresh batch of limited giant cinnamon rolls. They're only $5 and they fit pretty much a whole pie pan. So I've literally eaten that for breakfast, lunch, and second lunch today. But I would recommend it. Available at both stores, and they only make a couple. Deep Deuce only makes 4 a day, so you got to be quick.
Oh, geez, only 4 a day.
Mm-hmm.
That is, those cinnamon rolls look fantastic. I haven't had a chance to try one, but um, I might try to see. Waking up extra early, that's the commitment. So well done, Logan.
Well, for me, I went out of my way because it's never on my way. Went all the way over to North Park Mall, went to Rococo, and picked up a lobster roll. I really fought hard back and forth between whether I was going to get that or I was going to get the crab cake. I always get the crab cake. I don't regret always getting the crab cake because it's so good. But this time I dug deep. I found a little resolve, and I said, no, we're going to get the lobster roll this time. And I definitely don't regret it. Lobster roll with the sweet potato fries. It was perfect. I inhaled it. Like if you looked at my pictures, like really, I took those pictures so fast because then I just inhaled the thing. I mean, it was gone so quickly once the phone was down. And so that was really great. I don't do just a whole lot of seafood in Oklahoma City. And it's not to say that there aren't other good options, but Rococo is a great option for seafood.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, it is. I can't not get the crab cake when I'm there. So kudos to you for breaking away from that hold.
Yeah, after I saw your after I saw
sorry.
your photo, I went across the street to the Manhattan for a lobster roll. It was inspirational.
Making a difference.
There you go. There you go. That's what we're out here to do, right? My favorite thing that I ate this week, I also was like, I gotta go, even though we had tons of food at home, because, with this craziness that's setting in, you're like, okay, I gotta go do some groceries in case something happens. We didn't like get tons and tons of toilet paper though, so maybe we missed out, uh, but I was like, we have to go out and get some food. So I got to go from Thai Kitchen, that's right downtown. Got some fantastic Thai food. I think it just feels fresh to me whenever I eat there. So, and one of my favorite things to get is the spicy basil, and it's the Pat Krapao, and that's never disappointed. And Serena usually gets the spicy Pad Thai, and you can tell we like spicy stuff. So it was fantastic Thai food.
That's awesome. So Thai Kitchen is a downtown staple, and I love their buffet, and that's the only time I've ever eaten there is lunch buffet. And you have to wear your stretchy pants and not have a whole lot on your calendar the rest of the afternoon. So I'm interested in trying their takeout sometime, but I'm pretty spoiled with the buffet because you can try everything and then eat as much as you like, obviously.
When everything goes back to normal, I'm gonna have to hit up their buffet because everyone always talks about their buffet, but I've never eaten the buffet.
Yeah, let's do it. One day.
We'll plan it.
Hopefully
We'll
soon.
plan it. One day in the near future. All right, so this thing that's on everyone's mind, right? There's no not talking about it. The coronavirus, COVID-19, the social distancing that we're practicing, it's had a pretty major impact on the restaurant industry, the hospitality industry, the travel industry, tons and tons of different industries. But we see as, our lives revolve around food, we see a huge, huge impact in the restaurant industry. So I figured it'd be interesting to kind of talk about how this happened. Everyone knows, but like just kind of recapping this chronologically because it happened really, really quickly. People had to almost instantaneously change their whole business model, right?
Well, so you say that it felt in Oklahoma City that it happened suddenly. But obviously, anybody who watches the news, we recognize that COVID-19 was impacting different parts of the world at various stages. And part of, I think, our mentality was it may not happen to us. And when we talk about the turning point, almost everybody can agree it was that last Wednesday. It feels longer than just a week ago, with the NBA game, the Utah Jazz and the Thunder here in Oklahoma City. And when the NBA decided to suspend their season, it caused this instantaneous ripple effect that was unreal to be a part of. Whoever you were, you felt it, whether it was your love for sports. All of a sudden that was gone, and just one thing after another just started clicking into place. So it's still surreal to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely strange. And I was out eating. I was at Ned's Starlight that night, and I remember it was on TV, and I saw that happen. It was like, oh God. It's like, things had gotten a little bit crazy up until that point. Things had starting, cases were popping up in Seattle or different places, but it really wasn't, I don't know, I wouldn't say it was widespread hysteria up until that point. But when that happened, I was just like, well, this is on national TV. Everyone's going to see this. Tomorrow's going to be rough. And sure enough, it basically it followed exactly. But I mean, nobody could have possibly guessed the extent to which things would have changed. Just the rash of cancelings, and people they can't go back to school, for the rest of the semester. I mean, it's and of course, the stock market dropping by a third. I mean, that's just, it's something.
Yeah. And so when all this was happening, I wasn't in Oklahoma. I was supposed to be on a cruise, which we luckily were in the right frame of mind to be like, we're not going on this. And so we kind of rearranged some plans, and we drove to Santa Fe, New Mexico. So Wednesday we were in New Mexico, and I heard through texts and messages that the NBA game was canceled, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy!" Because I wasn't in Oklahoma and I wasn't feeling this, so it's very interesting to hear how it unfolded while people were in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that was definitely the turning point. But even earlier that day, just talking to our partners in downtown and the City of Oklahoma City events department, talking about permitting and all this stuff, I felt some anxiety because around 1:00 that afternoon, I texted my friends. We had plans to see Cher the next night. And I said, I'm having second thoughts about Cher in the midst of all of this. And they all kind of laughed it off and said I was being overreacting, I guess. And then later that evening, when that happened with the Thunder and the NBA, and then Cher pretty much immediately canceled, it's still so crazy to think about. And day to day, in the city, we've just seen decisions are made daily based on information that is slowly coming in from everywhere. So,
right. And it's barely been a week since that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, all right. So let's focus in on the restaurant industry, kind of why we're gathered here today to talk about. I feel like we're gathered here today. Sounds ominous. But they had to react really quickly, change their business models. Let's talk a little about that.
One of the things that I find the most admirable about the hospitality industry, restaurants and bars specifically, is that they actually reacted faster than the government could. I mean, a lot of them, they immediately went to, all right, we're going to social distance in our dining rooms. We're going to, close off certain, basically give people space inside. We're going to ramp up, we're going to offer curbside service. We're going to do, delivery for businesses that have really never done delivery before. We're going to sign up for all these apps, these Grub Hubs and things like that. I mean, they were fast. It just wasn't enough. I mean, the government was going to do what it was going to do, and rightly or wrongly. But I mean, they really stepped up to the plate, and I've talked to several of them, and I mean, it's not like it was easy by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, nobody has a game plan for something like this. I mean, when you get, I can only imagine it's like getting hit by a tornado. I mean, it's just, but they really did a really admirable job. It was only for a few days that really applied, I guess, before, the city of Oklahoma City, the city of Norman, Stillwater, they all started declaring, states of emergency and, forcing them to either close or radically alter what they do. But they did a good job, or as good as anybody could possibly be expected to do given the circumstances.
Yeah, it's interesting you compare it to, or say that this is a situation that is completely unplanned for, and comparing it to severe weather. The thing is, most Oklahomans growing up here, living here, having a business here, you have a severe weather plan. And that will tie you over for a couple of days, or in a worst case scenario for a week, maybe tops. But something like this is completely unprecedented. So I really commend the restaurants and small businesses for their quick response and their ability to adapt. But like you said, it was only a matter of time before the city would implement its own restrictions. And I think we're all feeling the hurt from it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, I missed the front end of it, but I think I came back right as people were making those decisions to say, hey, the dining room's closed. We're only doing takeout. We're only doing curbside. Everyone signed up on the delivery apps. Another commendable thing is they're offering free delivery so they can keep their employees employed, because those employees are the ones that are delivering all this food for free. So I think just the adaptability of the industry and and the relaxed ABLE laws, right?
That's huge.
That are helping them get through this as well. Do you want to talk about the ABLE laws, just in case someone doesn't know about that?
Yeah. So one of the nice things to come out of this, one of the few nice things, is that the ABLE Commission, who's in charge of alcohol regulations in Oklahoma, they allowed restaurants to start selling beer and wine out the door. So you can go in, or they bring it out to your car, either way, and you can get your takeout. And I think that the exact stipulation is you have to buy food. But if you buy food, you can also buy beer and wine. And I actually did that this afternoon when I went to my favorite sushi place in Edmond, Sumo, and I picked up some Sapporos while I was there. I called them on the phone. I said, "Can you sell beer?" And they said, "Yeah, you just can't open it." And I said, "Okay, all right, awesome." But what that does is it gives them the ability to make a little extra income that they wouldn't otherwise be able to make on alcohol, because obviously you can't sell cocktails, you can mix drinks, anything like that, and that's a big part of their industry. So Fee, is there anything I missed on that you might know?
No, I mean, I think you covered it. The ABLE's Commission, or their ability to update that to give the restaurants flexibility, I think is critical. And it kind of incentivizes consumers and customers into being able to do a one-stop shop for that complete meal, food and alcohol.
Yep.
Right. A balanced meal. It's the essentials, right, that you need. Something else that was really encouraging was everything that happened with the community, right? You see a lot of positive messaging coming out, a lot of support. People are encouraging people to visit these local businesses, but obviously people are apprehensive, right? Because they've been told to social distance, they've been told to stay at home. What are your takes on that?
I think it's been, you're right, really encouraging to see the community response as far as on social media and everything, promoting all of these different restaurants, really trying to get behind them and share the deals that they're doing and encouraging others to get takeout and grab coffee in the morning. And I reached out to a couple contacts at various restaurant groups just to offer support and say, these are the things I'm going to try to do. And I know a lot of the food community via social media is doing the same. But if there's something else that you can think of, let us know. I think we kind of all know what we can do and we're doing our best. But I think ultimately we need to put our money where our mouths are. And in addition to sharing, if you have extra income, if you have the resources and the ability to support these organizations with your dollars.
No, and I do think that's critical. I mean, it's especially easy. I mean, as social media influencers, whatever you want to call it, we've been very fortunate. I mean, the restaurants treat us exceptionally well, and it's not like we don't do our part. It's always, it's a relationship. I mean, a lot of these people, they're our friends. These are people that we look forward to seeing. These are restaurants that we go back to. But now is really the time where you have to remember your friends. You got to show up, and and I mean, I can't say that I'm going to be like Fee and go every single day. That's a superhuman feat for which I wholeheartedly commend her. But for me, I've gone 2-3 times this week. I mean, even if you can just make it once a week or once every other week, I mean, who knows how long this is going to last. But every little bit counts. And it has been encouraging to see people really step up to the plate and not just let this bog everyone down. I mean, it's obviously, it's a crisis, and, a lot of people are, they're either out of a job temporarily, possibly permanently. I mean, there's really no getting around that. But, there's a lot that we can do to hopefully mitigate what could be a disaster.
Right. We can't downplay the fact that this is a huge deal and a huge pandemic that we have to overcome, but we can also kind of take our precautions. We know the restaurants are taking their precautions and following the guidelines that the CDC has set and all those things. So, it's a matter of feeling safe and comfortable going out and getting that food. And I think the key message that I've seen over and over again is, hey, it's okay. And I think the more people post about this and the more we see pictures and things on social media that kind of drown out more of that fear and anxiety part of social distancing, I think people will start feeling a little more comfortable. Like, for example, I got invited to a Facebook group that is Show Your To Go, and that's essentially just people posting pictures about the food that they've gotten to go. And I think it's awesome. It's just a small little thing that someone just made, and I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I love that, because I think in addition to just sharing other restaurants' promotions, when you actually get food and then post for your experience, I think that's more meaningful. The fact that Logan said, this is what I ate today, and this is who I'm supporting, and it was delicious. And that's what I'm trying to be intentional about, is in addition to sharing information, to share my experiences that might make someone else feel comfortable about also going to eat there. Because it's just uncertain times. And in times like this, a lot of people will curb back on their spending just to kind of ride it out and see what the future holds. But I think it's more important than ever. It's our time to step up and support these organizations that we value, that make our community so vibrant and make living in Oklahoma City like a delicious place to live.
A delicious place to live. I like that. I think
that should be our new state motto.
That's what I was about to say. We just rebranded. We should add that to it.
Yeah.
If the lieutenant governor is listening to this, here's an idea. That's awesome. So we kind of touched upon this while talking, just a second ago. What's the key? What can everyone do to help support such a The industry is in a pretty fragile state right now, right? We have fears of losing some gems that have made Oklahoma City a delicious place to live. What do you think people can do, and how do we like ease their anxiety and fear in doing this?
Well, lucky for our listeners today of this podcast, we prepared before we actually came online. We have a list. So let's just hit one thing at a time and we can just alternate. I'll start with the obvious one. During this time, order takeout or delivery. That's a no-brainer. I think a lot of people are doing that. We've seen that, and a lot of the restaurants and concepts are catering to that by offering promotions and other things, which we'll talk about later. But speaking to my friend Leah at S&B Burgers, I was asking her, and one thing she told me that really resonated. She said, make sure to make the orders directly through the restaurant if possible. This really avoids the extra administrative fees that they're charged. So more of that money of your order will go into their pocket instead of the third party. So if you're picking it up, make it through them. A lot of places are offering their own delivery. So even if you need it delivered, make it through them. If you're within a certain distance, a lot of those places are happy to deliver for you.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point, because even Uber Eats and all those different apps have gone to no delivery fees, but they still charge the restaurants an administration fee, which is a percentage of their sales. So that's a fantastic point. Something that I'd add to that, once you have placed your order and picked it up or gotten it delivered, I would say tip a little extra if you can, right? If you have the means to and you're able to and you're comfortable with it, tip a little extra, because obviously these workers in these restaurants, their business has gone down significantly, and these tips are kind of going to keep them going for a little bit. So if you have it, throw in an extra $5, and that could make a huge difference.
Another big thing right now, order gift cards. Order gift cards to spend later. That's straight cash for them. You could also, if they have any sort of swag, hats, hoodies, shirts, things like that. I mean, not all of them do, but some of them do. And, I've never thought about it before necessarily. I'm just like, I don't need that. But now I'm just like, maybe I could use one of those. And along with gift cards, and this is something that only occurred to me earlier today, and it seems a little counterintuitive, but if you have existing gift cards or gift certificates, resist the urge to use them right now, because it doesn't actually help them a whole lot right now. I mean, it's they've already been paid for. I get it. I have a lot of gift cards right now. I'm really bad about using them. And so I just kind of let them, pile up. But, it's a lot better. That they need every dollar that they can get to maintain employees, to keep the doors open. So it helps to be cognizant of that. It's the compassionate thing to do.
That's great advice. I'm glad you mentioned that.
My memory is on board with you, Logan, because I always forget to use my gift cards, and they just pile up. Like I have like multiple places. Like I'll put them in a cup. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna remember it. It's right here, and I always forget. But hey,
yeah. I've joked that if I really wanted to, I could have one really outstanding week solely on gift cards. But that
and he'll let us tag along with him, is what he said.
We'll see what happens.
So the next thing we have that you can do to help costs nothing except for your time. Those sitting at home, working from home, when you have a break, those not working right now, if you want to support a business or a restaurant that you really care about, that you really like, leave a review for them online. I think that's critical right now. In addition, if you happen to get some food there and have a great experience, leave a review.
Yeah, I think those reviews are critical always, but especially right now. I think when people see the positive feedback and the positive messaging, that helps. And kind of the final thing, we had talked about this before, where you see people posting about their food and posting about their experiences. Share your favorite restaurants, the food you got, just like Logan and his lobster roll that encouraged Fee to go out and get a lobster roll. Just things like that. And those help, those are amazingly effective. And remember to tag us, right? At OKC Foodcast, at Edible Excellence OKC, at Take a Bite OK, and we'll share your posts and spread the good word about the great food that's out here. So to help you on your quest to eat local at this time, we're going to share some resources that we found that are keeping lists together of places that are open and what their operating, for lack of a better word, conditions are, right? If they're doing delivery or if it's just takeout, if there's curbside pickup, all that stuff is mentioned on these lists.
Well, I think that
Okay.
Well, I think at the moment, probably the most comprehensive tool that's out there is the Edible OKC magazine tool that's being updated, they say every 15 minutes with current restaurant and I guess whatever bars are still open, whatever their condition is, whether it's reduced hours or et cetera. So that's definitely a good tool to start with.
I think the edible, I almost called them Edible Excellence. That's funny.
It happens.
The Edible OKC magazine link that you sent, they've got so many. Yeah, it's awesome. The other one that I found was from Visit OKC. It's a comprehensive list of places, but I like that they've broken them down into categories. So if you want pizza or Italian, you can kind of look at that list and see what people are doing, whether they have takeout, delivery, curbside pickup, whatever that might be. I like the category distribution on that. It's a little easier to find what you're in the mood for.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Another one that's been a great resource is Dave Cathy with the Oklahoman has an article where he is keeping track of a running guide to local dining during the ongoing pandemic. So I know he's updating that regularly with photos and information, and Dave is a great resource for all of us.
Yeah, you can always count on Dave to have the 405 Diningscape's best interest at heart.
Another good resource to look at is the Oklahoma Restaurant Association. They've compiled a list at www.carryoutok.com. Obviously, as the association that represents the restaurants in Oklahoma, you can be pretty sure that you can count on them to have good information there.
Yeah. And then lastly, I think the individual districts and sections of town have their own websites and things that they maintain. So, for example, Uptown 23rd and the Plaza District have up-to-date information on their websites that you can also visit if you're looking for something in a particular area. And then other than that, these are comprehensive lists of places that are operational, open, ready for business, ready to serve you. There are a few gems that we found during, scouring social media like we usually do. So we'll kind of go around and tell you a few that we found that were like, this is, I'm excited about this. I'm looking forward to getting this, whatever the case might be. So Fee, take it away.
Okay, I'll go first. I came up with a list of 4, so I'll go through those. First, Magnolia Bistro in Automobile Alley. If you have not eaten here, go, like, right now. Or actually go tomorrow, because they're only open for lunch. But they're open Monday through Friday for lunch, and they're delicious. Right now, they're offering their full menu in addition to a special family portion menu. They are doing free delivery within 5 miles of the restaurant, in addition to curbside delivery. And if you want to check on my Instagram, those honey lime chicken wings are insane. But they also have classic Cajun items such as gumbo, crawfish etouffee, and some of the best po' boys around. Next on my list is Hideaway Pizza. If you look at their Instagram, it shows stacks and stacks of pizza boxes. They are ready to fulfill all these prepaid online orders or your call-in orders. And right now, they just launched this last week their ranch flight. I mean, how Oklahoman is that? For $1.99, you can get a ranch flight that includes 4 new flavors in addition to the OG Hideaway Ranch. And then if you vote on which one's your favorite, you could win a year of free pizza and a ranch fountain.
If the world
Next,
is in first.
Who doesn't want a range fountain?
Killer pizza party with the ranch fountain, okay?
Right? At least it'll taste good.
So the next one, I know on social media had people like screaming out in delight. Finally, you can get ramen to go at GoRo. I guess it kind of takes a pandemic before they're going to accommodate that request. Yeah. You can get ramen to go now. Each order comes with instructions on how to heat up your perfect bowl of noodles, since I don't think it's the way that we are all used to, coming out of like that plastic bag with the packet of seasoning. A little bit more fancy than that. In addition, now the sister concept Gun Izakaya is offering a limited menu of items that you can order there. And if you haven't already, you got to try the eggplant wontons. So good.
Right.
But then,
and you're right. It took them a pandemic to essentially say, "Fine, we'll give you ramen to go."
The only way you could get it to go before was to order it there and then dump it in a to-go container.
Right. And I also love that they include the instructions. I think that is fantastic.
I love it. I think it's a testament to how much they care about the integrity of what they're serving, and they only want you to taste it when it is how they prepare it.
Right.
So,
which is the reason why they didn't want you to go in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So my final item, shout out to Jay Mays and his team at the Hamilton. They revamped a menu that they're calling the Hamilton Separate Room Service menu. And it features all of your favorites, including the house-made smoked salmon, which Jay told me is his favorite and is now my favorite thing on the menu. In addition to their signature blend meatloaf. And oh my gosh, that Borzen mac and cheese. It's nuts. So they're doing free delivery within 5 miles with a $25 purchase, and then 20% off bottled wine with the food purchase.
You know, it's cool to see people having fun with this too. Like they call it the room service menu. That's funny.
Yeah, I love it.
So I have a list of 5, I think, 4 or 5. We'll see how many end up. One of the first ones that caught my eye was Provision Concepts with Bira Bira, Broadway 10, and Hatch. They're doing 50% off of their menu prices, which is, I mean, when you think about that, and their food, like Bira Bira, craft pizza, fresh pasta, those prices are insane. Like, you wouldn't get that anytime, anywhere, and their food's fantastic. So I think that was, I mean, kudos to them for making that effort. Cafe Cacao, you know, it's a brunch staple. Always go to, when you're like, where do you want to go to brunch? Most people will say Cafe Cacao. All their menu items are now $8 to go. So you can get your brunch fix anytime. I think, and talking about places having fun, I think Hall's Pizza, you know, they always do really cool things with their concept. And what they're doing right now is they're giving you make pizza at home kits, which is a testament to how they started by making pizza at home. If you want to hear their story, you can jump back a few episodes and listen to that episode where we had Molly and Elise on. They talk about how they got started making pizza at home, and now they're giving you that opportunity by taking those pizza at home kits home to make, which is awesome. Next on my list was Joey's, and Joey's Pizzeria in Fulham Row. They're doing 50% off their menu items. And lastly, I feel like I picked like fun places because Whiskey Cake, they're doing their fun survival kits, which if you haven't seen those online, jump on their Facebook, and they're giving you like 2 chickens, some burger patties, eggs, milk, and toilet paper as a survival kit. I think it's funny. I think they're making the best of the situation, and I think people are responding to that because they sold out really fast.
Yeah, I think they've sold out 4 3 or 4 different kits. And the response has been just fun to follow, even if you can't be fast enough to actually get one for yourself. But reading the comments is what it is.
Right. Yeah, because obviously they have a limited number of these.
All right, for my list, the first thing I've got is Hummus Cafe, which if you've never been, you're really missing out. There are 2 locations, one north side, Mayan Memorial, and then one south side, somewhere in Moore. I don't know Moore that well. Look it up. But they're offering 20% off all their orders, and that's a steal. I mean, the food is fantastic. You can get like rack of lamb. You get there. The number one thing that I recommend that everyone try if they go to hummus is the mahamara, which is like it looks kind of like hummus, but instead of like chickpeas, they use walnuts. It's like a walnut paste, and walnut and red peppers. That's what goes into the paste, and it is delicious. It's spicy. I need to get some like ASAP. So good. Definitely try it. They're great people. The next thing I have, Interurban is offering their Burger Day specials every day. So all their burgers and their chicken sandwiches are $6.99. And always like an Interurban burger. It's always fun. Rococo and Off the Hook are both offering family meals. So if you need to get dinner for 4 to 6 people, each of them are running specials. Highly recommend both of those. En Croute has a special economy-friendly menu. So they have some different options. They have burgers. They have I don't have the full menu in front of me, but the prices on it were really good. The other thing that's cool about En Croute is just a few weeks ago, they expanded and they took over their sister restaurant, the old St. Mark's Chop Room space, and opened up a wine shop. So if you go to En Croute, and they're already known for their charcuterie plates,
mm-hmm.
You can go there and get a cheese plate, meat plate, and a bottle of wine, all in one go. I mean, it's a fantastic convenience for your next pandemic party. You can have cheese, meat, and wine. I mean, what else do you need?
It's perfect.
Yeah. So the last thing I have on my list is Nonesuch, interestingly enough. They're offering 2 menus moving forward. They have an a la carte menu where I think everything's under $30. They have some cool options there. They have an okonomiyaki, which I have to try. So that's definitely on my to-do list. And they also have a prefix menu for 2, which is $55. And I think they have 3 different options. There's 3 different chef's choice options. So if you've never been to Nonesuch because you were turned away by the price, I get it. Been there. This is a great way for you to try some stuff from Nonesuch's kitchen. Help them out. Help yourself do a great meal. It's a win-win.
For sure. And I mean, I think it's unprecedented, and I've heard this word a lot with the situation that we're describing, but one of the best restaurants in America is only to go now, which is insane to think about. So, we mentioned we threw a bunch of options out at you. Those are some of our picks. There's tons and tons of more stuff out there. But before we close out, I think it'd be prudent to ask everyone, what's your favorite thing to get takeout or delivered is?
Okay, I'll go first. So I'm really weird. I don't get a whole lot of takeout. I never Postmates or get food delivered. I feel like if I'm too lazy to physically go somewhere to eat, then I don't deserve to have it brought to me. So
that's harsh.
If I do get takeout, I will go pick it up. But I think it's important for me, the quality of the food. And I think we all agree that not all food travels well. So something that I think does travel well are chicken wings. I feel like I could eat wings every single day, but I have a list of some of my favorites, and I'm sure they're on your list of favorites too. So obviously, shout out to my friends at Magnolia Bistro for their honey lime wings. Maybe not as discovered as the other ones I'm going to talk about, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't go and try it. And right now they're offering their family meals for delivery, so you can get enough wings for like 10 to 15 people if you'd like. a worthy investment. But my other favorite wings are Pizzeria Gusto. Oh my gosh, their wings are so good. It's like a spicy buffalo type wing, but the sauce is incredible. Goa Ramen is my favorite non-traditional wing. They're Tebasaki wings with the fish caramel. First of all, I'm Vietnamese, and anytime you can do like a sweet, savory fish sauce based wing, I'm drooling thinking about it. But my ultimate go-to, and I can order probably 2 of these and eat them all by myself. And I will say, I think it's the only wings that you can eat on a date. And they're upper crust buffalo wings. And why they're so great is they are single bone, and you can just stick it in your mouth and pull it out, and it's clean. And every serving, they're tiny. So they're like, you can be very ladylike when you eat them, but every serving comes with 20. And just because there's 20 does not mean you have to share. And it is so good. So wings are my favorite.
I love the fact that you said these are the only wings you can eat on a date, because it reminded me of a funny story my friend in high school said. He's like, for your first date, if you go out for wings, then you're set, because you'll be totally comfortable with each other, because eating wings. So I think that's hilarious. For me, I think one of my favorite things and I'm kind of with you on getting things delivered. I do like going out and picking it up myself, and then just bringing it back home. I don't know why. I don't know. I just like going out and getting it myself. But for me, it's Thai food. I think Thai food travels really well. And, if you get distracted once you get home and you set it on the counter and it got a little cold, it reheats fantastic as well. Like I feel like there's no loss of flavor and texture too much in Thai food. It travels really well. And we've got some fantastic options in Oklahoma. Like I just mentioned, Thai Kitchen. We have Penang, Sala Thai. We're blessed to have good food here.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be pizza. I mean, name me one food that was designed for travel more so than pizza.
I mean, it comes in a box.
It comes in a box. I mean, it is. It's the ultimate travel food. And there were a few years there. It's been years ago now, but I could never find a pizza in Oklahoma City that just really blew me away. And part of that reason is because pizza is and one of its other strengths is that pizza is an inherently social food. I mean, if you're eating an entire pizza by yourself, there are probably deeper issues.
What if you're just hungry?
No. Well, that may be an issue in of itself. Trust me, I've been there. But in any case, so the last couple of years, I started, taking coworkers out and things like that, actually trying some of these places. And what I found is that Oklahoma City just has a ton of good pizza places. There really is no limit to it. And I've gotten into arguments with people about this time and time again, and I'll stick to my guns and tell you that they're all wrong. That Pizzeria Gusto is the best pizza in the city. I take it mildly personally that it's been almost 2 years and they still don't follow me on Instagram, but I love them nonetheless. I'm not a petty person, but every once in a while I'm just like, really? Like, I've been there so many times. I've taken so many pictures. Like,
come on,
what's
guys.
the deal here? Like, does the person running that account just like, did they go to high school with me? Did they just? I don't know. But their pizza is so great. The pepperoni gusto. I don't think I've ever gone there and not gotten that pizza. So I love that. They have great sides. I always mispronounce this word, the arancini. Those little balls. Those are great.
The rice balls.
My second favorite. Yeah, I know, right? And my second favorite is Hall's. I mean, it's really hard to beat Hall's. Their pizza's fantastic. With them, can you order the Quinn's Burrata to go? Like, does that travel? I don't know.
Yeah, because they give it to you. I think from the last time I got it to go, they gave it to you separately with each individual item in a separate box.
That makes sense.
Wow.
I'm going to have to put this to the test because I firmly believe that the Quinn's Burrata is the best appetizer in the city. But in any case, pizza. Definitely pizza.
Nice. And I think before we close, it's important to give a couple of shout outs. I think this is something that we've seen with the community stepping up, and we've talked a lot about community and people getting engaged and really supporting each other. One of the things that I saw that really stood out, and this was in Midwest City, Austin and Banks law firm partnered with the Drum Room and Wedge in Midwest City to provide free meals to the elderly who are in need of a meal. And that's like a free meal and free delivery. I think that's what a wonderful gesture. And that's fantastic. Because as we know, the elderly population, according to research and everything that we've seen, is the most susceptible to the virus going around right now. So to keep them safe and to offer that, I think that is fantastic. Another cool thing I saw recently, Zach's Cajun Kitchen, some fantastic people there. They are donating in this time of need and the dire straits that the whole industry is in. They're giving 20% of all their sales to the regional food bank. I think that's fantastic.
No, that's great. This is my time to come in with my shameless plug for the regional food bank. So, as you know, in times like this, the regional food bank is operating in disaster response mode. And with that, it provides us a lot of opportunities. First, if you know somebody that needs food assistance, the regional food bank has website rfbo.org/get-help, or they can call the regional food bank to find a food pantry nearby. Next, if you have free time, which a lot of us may have free time since our entire calendars have been figured out, they are in desperate need for volunteers to help pack emergency food boxes at their volunteer center and at the Moore Food and Resource Center. What's so awesome about this organization is they canceled all their volunteer staff, hit pause, and got together as a team to come up with a way to create a volunteer experience that still allows us to socially distance ourselves and be safe while we help. So if you're interested in that, hit up the Regional Food Bank website and you can sign up for a shift. They have shifts every single day in Moore and here in Oklahoma City. Then finally, if you're unable to volunteer, ultimately money talks. Your financial contributions are super important, and it continues to help the Regional Food Bank provide meals to the vulnerable in Oklahoma.
So, that PSA brought to you by Take a Bite OK. The Ogilvy Foodcast.
Thank you so much.
I think that's fantastic. You were about to say something, Logan?
So really all I have is I was trying to think of creative ways to kind of bring people together, not physically, obviously, in an attempt to, support these businesses that we all know and love. And so I started up a new hashtag, and it's hashtag OKLovesLocals, like Oklahoma loves their local businesses. Because, but in the past, when things were normal, it was very clear that, people really do care about and support their businesses. And I think that now is a really important time to not forget that. Even though things are going to be crazy, and for a lot of people, budgets are going to be, a little bit tighter. Completely understand that. But I think that having everyone use that hashtag, it gives kind of like a central hub where you can see where everyone's going, who's open, what specials are running, who's still out there trying to bring you a great experience and a great meal, even when times are really weird. So yeah, use OK Loves Local in your posts, in your stories, show support for local business. Feel free to tag me in it. I've basically shared every post that's had that in it. And a few people, I only did it, about 24 hours ago, and people are already sort of using it, which is kind of cool. It's good to see. But, any little thing, if it, if you think that it's not enough, well, every little bit counts.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Logan. Good job.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Kind of bringing people together while we can't be together. I think that's great. And kind of like we mentioned, we were very blessed to be supported so well by this community when we first started this podcast. And that for our anniversary party, people gave us stuff. And unfortunately, that was postponed. But just wanted to give a few shout outs. First one, Rome Coffee Company. They because of this, they're no longer at the farmers market, but they're doing to your door deliveries to anyone who DMs them through their social media platforms. So as long as they have coffee and you order it or you ask them for it on their social media platform, they will deliver it to you and they're not charging for deliveries. So I think that's fantastic. And they said they're going to try to get a sales web page up soon. So keep that in mind. Pie Junkie is doing curbside deliveries and they're posting the daily menu online and taking phone orders. So check them out if you want a little a sweet tooth during your self-quarantine. Ned Starlight Lounge, where Logan was when he discovered the Thunder game was postponed and then the NBA season was canceled. They are doing free delivery within a 2-mile radius, as well as at Quail Creek and Nichols Hills. And also Uber Eats is doing free deliveries and they're partners with them. Clark Crew Barbecue, some of the best barbecue that I've had in Oklahoma City. They're doing to-go and curbside pickup, and they're doing caterings as well. You can order that food on their website or call it in. They're also giving free kids meals with an entree to help feed those that need it. So I think that's fantastic. Masa Ramen and Sushi is offering curbside pickup and also delivery up to 5 miles. So if you're in the Western and Memorial Edmond area, you've got a fantastic option right there. Encroute that we talked about, I think Logan mentioned them. Their wine shop, you can get wine to go by the bottle, curbside. Goro and the 84 Hospitality Group have all transitioned to takeout and curbside pickup. Roxy's, you can get to go or on Postmates. Rococo's with the Rococo to go, you can get their specials that they're doing daily for meals that you can take home or get delivered to you. Black Walnut, you can get that curbside or to go. And of course, Parlor, our hosts for the event, they are doing curbside pickup, and a lot of the restaurants are also offering delivery where they can. So check all of them out. And, once again, from Ashley and I, thank you so much for the support. And we're just blessed to be part of this community.
Hey guys, before we wrap this up, since Nabil, Logan, and I actually took the time to type out the recommendations on what you can do to help, we are going to tell you one more time, just in case you forgot from 30 minutes ago. I'll start first.
Got so overloaded with information about food.
Everyone's been taking notes, right? Because we've thrown a ton of info at you. So first, what you can do, order, takeout, or delivery. Again, if possible, make your orders directly through the restaurants to avoid them being charged administrative fees. A lot of restaurants are offering free delivery, so you can order directly through them and one of their employees will deliver it to you.
Fantastic. Second, when you get that food, tip generously. If you can, throw in an extra $5, $10, whatever it is that you can afford. And if you feel comfortable doing it, that goes a long way in supporting these businesses and their employees as well.
As always, leaving a review helps businesses a lot, especially now. Take pictures, show people what they're getting. I've gone and had takeout 3 times this week, and the quality of the food has not dipped at all. It just comes in a plastic container. Nothing wrong with that. But let people know. Just always helps.
Yeah, and leaving those reviews costs no money. Next, what you can do is share your promos and what you're eating at your favorite restaurants online on your social media channels. If you tag one of us at OKC Foodcast, at Edible Excellence OKC, or me at Take a Bite OK, we'll be happy to share it on our channels too.
100%. And then, like we were talking about, the gift cards, if you forget to use your gift card right now, that's fine. It's fantastic. Save those gift cards for later. And if anything, order some gift cards now, because that's, like Logan mentioned, a straight cash infusion into their system. Anything else you guys want to mention before we close out this fantastic episode?
I'm not sure we could provide any more information than we have already.
Yeah, if you've made it to the end of this, kudos to you. Truly.
Hey, it wasn't that tough to listen to, right?
We'll ask Ashley what she thinks.
She's going to be like, I have to be on these episodes from now on. But thank you both for taking the time out while things are so crazy and coming on this podcast to help bolster people and reassure them in this time of uncertainty. So thanks again for being on. I think this was a fantastic episode. Once again, be sure to follow Fee at Take a Bite OK, Logan at Edible Excellence OKC, and us at OKC Foodcast. And post your pictures, tag us in them. We'll reshare them just so we can be in this journey together. And before I head out, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Lyft community where I live, because so many people have posted in our little group if people need help doing groceries, if people need help getting food, that they are there to help. And I'm just really blessed to be part of this community and with such great people in it. So shout out to Lyft and all the people that live there. You know who you are. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button so you know when the next episode is out. And now more than ever, share this podcast with your circle of friends so we can get this message out and support our fantastic local restaurants. If you're bored and need something to do, go back and listen to the 50 plus episodes that we already have where we showcase some of these restaurants that we just talked about as well. So, we'll keep you company while you're quarantining. And just a note, we may not have our weekly episodes. It just depends on how things shake out and how everything, we'll just have to take it day by day. So, but if we can, we'll be with you next Friday. Thanks for listening. And what does Ashley say? Eat well and be happy. Bye.
Amen. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.